Yeah, Korean food is amazing. I love it. So to kind of give a background of like Korean food, Korea has been in between China and Japan. And so Korea, like for a lot of their history, has just got their butts kicked all the time. Because like China is this superpower, Japan is like this superpower, and Korea is in between. And so like China will come and like take over Korea. You know, Genghis Khan came to like take over Korea, and then Japan like is like occupied Korea a lot of times. So they've been really like kind of beat down, and like um, they've had a lot of times where they've had a lot of hard times, and so their food is built around that. So like a lot of their food is like self-preserved, like kimchi. You probably heard of kimchi. Like, yeah, it's Napa cabbage. They put all the spices and soak it in salt water, and then they put it in a pot in the ground for like 3 months, and then you eat it. And it's awesome. I love it. So all their food is kind of fermented, so it can be in the pots in the ground at a very like 50, 40 degree temperature and last for long times. And so they're like Korean food, and like they're like the experts at keeping food that's preserved because they've had so much hardships. They're like experts at preserving food, and so all the food that you eat is kind of like it's been like kind of pickled or preserved in that kind of way. So that's kind of like a background of the history of like how their food works. But some of my favorite things is Korea are like the best in the world at barbecue. Like, I'm sorry, like American barbecue is not even close. Like they just know how to like slice and dice meat and then marinate it and then cook it. So it's like doesn't matter. Like I never had like a chewy piece of meat in Korea. Like the way they package it, it's just like instead of like in America you buy a steak, right? In Korea you'd buy like a steak, but it's more like a rib or just a slab of meat that's been like they like slice it all up so it's like kind of cube, but it's still all connected. And then because that like makes it more tender, and then they soak it, and it's just like and they marinate it anyway. And then when you cook it, it's just like perfect every time. And so the Korean meats are just killer. They're awesome. They're so good. Like you probably heard of bulgogi. Bulgogi is like kind of what they're known for, but it's super good. They're the best at marinating meat. So tons of awesome meats. My favorite thing to do, and probably the meal I ate the most in my mission, was I'd actually go to the little butcher shop, and I would say, give me the cheapest pork. And the cheapest pork was actually the leanest pork, the pork with the least amount of fat in it, which in America it's like, yeah, lean meat's usually, you know, more expensive. So it's kind of opposite a little bit. Anyway, so I get this pork and we chop it all up and, you know, put it in the lettuce. They'll put like rice and then their meat and some samjang in their lettuce and just eat it in these little lettuce wraps. And like, I love it. You know, not every meal does that, but a lot of the meals, like if you're eating samgyeopsal, samgyeopsal is basically bacon, but it's bacon that's like, it's thicker and it has more fat on it probably, and sometimes even has like a little bit of skin and hair. Like sometimes you see a little hair poking out, but it's cooked. It's good. Don't worry. And it's washed. But samgyeopsal is awesome. It's basically like bacon, and you like slice it up, these big thick pieces, dip it in samgyeopsal, grab like a pickled garlic, put it in some rice and on a lettuce leaf, and just eat that thing. It's just like Korean food is super healthy. Like when I got home, I started eating like these casseroles and all this kind of stuff, and it was just like it was super hard to adjust from like eating like meats and vegetables, like they're very kind of almost like pagan diet. Is that paleo? It's not pagan. The paleo diet. Pagan, that's totally whatever. Anyway, that's kind of like a paleo. It's like lots of vegetables, lots of meats, a lot of good fats, and a lot of like the fermented foods have like probiotics in them naturally, and so like your digestion is just like working like a champ in Korea. And then you get home and it's like casserole time, and it's like whoa. Anyway, so I have a lot of people that go to mission. When they get home, they struggle with that. It wasn't too bad for me, but the food is amazing. And it's addictive too with all the fermenting. Like kimchi is literally addictive. Like when you first smell it, it's like, oh, like it smells like a really bad, like a pile of poo or something. But it's like, but once you start like eating it and then smelling it, and like just after a couple fast Sundays of smelling kimchi, man, it just like you just like crave it. So it's super good. So I've actually now been home from mission for like a couple of years, six or so, 7 years. Anyway, my wife, she loves kimchi. She loves everything about Korean food. In fact, a lot of times she'll request, I'm like, can we just go get Korean food? I just feel so good after I'm done eating it. Because there's just like so much vegetables, like sprouts, and just all that, what's it called? All the fermented food like kimchi and pickle, like all those different things that they pickled garlic. And anyway, it's really good for your body, and it's really healthy food.